Oh, here we go. Here we go. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Collision or Hit. I, Tony Schiavone, Michael Cole, and Paulie Dangerously here. And today on Collision or Hit, we're going to have Father Yule here today on Collision or Hit, since it's Yule time for the Christendom folk. And don't forget, it's also the gathering of lights for the Jewish folk. Tony Schiavone said, that's right, Michael Cole said, we want to wish everyone a happy Yule if you're Christendom, if you're Jewish, and a happy gathering of lights. And, well, you know one thing Paulie Dangerously says? Why hasn't anyone ever gotten Gathering of Lights Harry doll? Do they even make them? I mean, earnestly, do they truly make them or not? I mean, they should have Gathering of Lights Harry dolls. Do they make them? I would say not, Paulie Dangerously says. That is kind of sad. Well, ho ho ho. Happy Yule. I am Santa Claus, which was taken off of Santa Claus, which was a Dutch way of saying Holy Fellow Nicholas. And, but I'm also known as Father Yule. And over the years, a lot of folks have seen me as, someone who does a lot of work around Yule time. But the work that I do is small and little compared to the true work. You see, the true grounds of the holy day Yule, or at least what Yule has become now, is on looking the birth of Jesus, Son of God. I give out those gifts in the same way that God gave Jesus to all mankind and all womankind as a gift. The same way those wise men who gave gifts to Jesus when they got to him. And the truth is, it took them some time to get to where he was at. So I give gifts the same mindset and stand that those wise men were when they gave gifts to Jesus, knowing that he was a gift from God, and when God gave Jesus to us as a gift. And a lot of folks over the years, mostly some folks out there, like to say there's some kind of double standard, which I am going to talk about before I leave. Now, the double standard which I do talk about, happens to come from the double standard which I talk about does happen to come from how it's all right to have Jesus, the birth of Jesus happening, with Mary and Joseph and the shepherds and the wise men who came later on. It's all right to have that around, but you can't have Jesus at shops. You can't have Jesus at holiday or holy day walks. But it's all right to have him around outside for everyone who is Christian and not to see that. I mean, where did a double standard come from? I know I'm ranting, and I really not. And so here's the man who only works one night of the year. Wow, ain't that sad? The truth is, I work probably 2 nights out of the year, because then you see Western Christendom does Yule in the 12th month, and Eastern Christendom does Yule in the 1st month. I know it's misleading. So no, I work 2 nights out of the year. Alright, but if you're coming out here to guilt me or shame me for, coming out here to guilt me or shame me for taking you away from Jesus, which I did not, or, coming out here to either say that I didn't give you the right gift you wanted many years ago, and that, well, you can stop with that behavior. You can truly stop with that kind of behavior right now. Oh, I'm not coming out here to guilt you or shame you for taking you away from Jesus. I'm not coming out here to say, oh, well, you forgot to give me this gift when I was a walker or a kid or an early betweener. I'm coming out here to say that I just think that it's sad that anyone would believe in someone who lives in the North Steeple. No one lives in the North Steeple. If you truly were man-like, which I don't really think you are, but if you were, you live in Greenland, which is like the northern... You live in Greenland, which is like the last slight of North Vinland that anyone lives in. 2, there's no way you could be getting in and out of houses through a smokestack, through a firestead. No way you could be getting through every lead door of every house. And there's no way you would know if someone was awake or asleep, bad or good. You know, and the truth is, the way you look like now, well, the Coca-Cola business, I think, was it nigh between 35 YL? They took you and said, well, we're going to have to put a red cap on his head and a red coat and red longs and black shoes and white gloves. And then we're going to have to make him say ho, ho, ho. Well, even though we're borrowing from Odin a little, you know, with the beard and everything, and, you know, the elves, well, we're going to take some Norse folklore. We're going to offshoot little things about Holy Fellow Nicholas, slam them both together, and, alright, I get it. You're coming out to guilt and shame me because you think folks should not believe in someone like me. Well, let me tell you something. I am the mindset of giving. The mindset of giving. You know, giving someone a gift because you truly care about them. The same way that God so loved and so forgave the world, He gave us Jesus. The same way those wise men, and I guess there were wise women too, who gave Him gifts because they knew He was the gift from God. Alright? You came out all your way to guilt me and shame me. And no, I don't have a good list or a bad list. Only God and Jesus have the book of life. You know? Hey, Faith says, you got nothing good to do? Baron Corbin, gotta come out here and be Glenn Grinch, or be Ebenezer Scrooge. But no, even that wouldn't be good enough, Faith says, because at least Glenn Grinch and Ebenezer Scrooge, at least whatever happened to them, they learned, you know, not to be you know, yeah, a lot of bad shit happened to both of them, true, but they also learned that they shouldn't let what happened to them in the past, you know, make that, you know, they learned that what happened in the past should not shift their mindset and stand for what is now. But yeah, at least they learned that they shouldn't hate Yule, Jesus' birthday, because some really bad things happened to them when they were younger. You think, Faith, that this has anything to do with something bad happening to me when I was younger? Like, I don't know, Ebenezer Scrooge not, you know, his kin, not his father not being the greatest or something, or his mother dying or whatever happened, or his girlfriend, whatever, walking out, whatever happened, I don't know. You're saying it's the same thing about Glenn Grinch being fostered, everybody making fun of him for the way he looked and he couldn't handle that anymore, and that's where he got his hatred of Yule for? No. My mindset and stand is not the same as Ebenezer Scrooge or Glenn Grinch. It's just, I don't think there's no Santa Claus. See, I love Yule, and I onlook and worship Jesus, but not this fuck. First off, you should not be saying anything like that, Baron Corbin. You know, you shouldn't be saying curse words. You know, thou should not curse. That was one of God's laws. Alright? Well, Faith says, if you're not behaving like them... Shit. If you're not oh, I'm sorry, Faith says, forgive me. So you're not behaving like them. But you're coming out here to bully and pick on Holy Fellow Nicholas, Father Yule, whatever, the bringer of gifts, whatever you want to call him. Not happening. So here's what I'm doing. I talked with Astronema, and she told me that we're going to have a ho-ho-ho staff match. So here, I'm going to pull out the, the Hershey Reese peanut butter kiss staffs that they sell, all between the 12th month going into the 11th month. And where's the big ones at? And then some of you folks out there, and well, I don't know where it went. No. Well, hold on. And that's what we're gonna have. So, I gotta get going now. Have a happy Yule. And also a happy gathering of lights to you Jewish folk too. You don't want to let them feel left out. Oh. So you think that I'm going to be frightened off, Faith, because I'm going to be hit with Hershey, Reese, peanut butter cup, staffs, You think that's going to run me off? Well, think again. Because it's not. Well, I can tell you one thing, Tony Schiavone says. At the end of the day, fuck, not going to fit. He's not going to be, Baron Corbin came out here to bully and pick on Santa Claus or Father Yule or whatever you want to call him, Tony Schiavone says. It isn't the first time someone has sadly done it, and most likely will not be the last time that someone sadly did that kind of behavior. Well, you got that right, Michael Cole says. It wouldn't be the first time that someone has sadly done that kind of thing, and it probably won't be the first time that someone has done that, and it won't be the last time, Michael Cole says. I can tell you right now, Paulie Dangerously says, at least we don't have to worry, about that kind of behavior around the Gathering of Lights time. Paulie Dangerously says, you're never going to see any of us have a dreidel match or a spinner match. Paulie Dangerously says. I mean, that would be cool if I did have to go around and hit folks with a spinner, Paulie Dangerously says. But only in a toy wrestling gathering do we have something like that happens. Well, we're going to have to get a Fight Lord in the ring now. And Faith just falls down right now. Ding, ding, ding. Well, these are the big staffs that come with the big one. Oh! And Faith just hit Baron Corbin in the head with the first big staff. And knocked him down again at the two big staff, Tony Schiavone said. Well, Michael Cole said these come from the big Reese's, the big Hershey Kiss staffs and peanut butter cup staffs, Michael Cole says. Unlike the smaller ones that say Reese's on it or Hershey's on it, Michael Cole said he's dunked. Well, Baron Corbin seems to be in some kind of bind right now.
They might have to pee after their bath. I asked you to put the dogs out. Yes.
And Faith right now just hit and knocked down Baron Corbin again, Tony Schiavone said, with those staffs. And unlike the smaller ones that say either Hershey's or Reese's on them, the bigger ones do not. Tony Schiavone said, well, Michael Cole says Baron Corbin got himself in this, Hershey Reese staff match of his own doing. Michael Cole says, well, I can tell you what, Paulie Dangerously says, Faith is now on the bye now, and like I said, we don't really have to worry about this on the Gathering of Lights, because you wouldn't see anyone be hitting folks with spinners, Only I think we should start that. It would have been cool if we did that on the Gathering of Lights, hit folks with spinners, like you hit folks with, with staffs or sticks, like Reese and Hershey peanut butter cup, staff or sticks. They had to be blessed first before you could even hit anyone with them, Paulie Dangerously says. Well, you got that ready anyway. And Baron Corbin right now is now finally going to do the the end of days. And now he's got the staff now, Paulie Dangerous says, get even on Faith. Oh, see how Faith likes to get hit by them, Paulie Dangerously says. You will never see this in the Gathering of Lights. No, probably not, Tony Schiavone says, Paulie Dangerously. You probably wouldn't truly see this at Yo either, to be earnest with you. This is like the TWF offshoot of the Wonder on 54th Street match. Only we have Hershey and Reese staffs instead of being hit with other Yo things, staffs, Tony Schiavone says. And Baron Corbin thinks he's going to do the Deep Six now. He just did. He's going to do the End of Days now. And Faith right now just dropped him down. And now Faith is getting ready to hit him and knock him down with another staff, Tony Schiavone says. Michael Cole says Baron Corbin is not doing very well right now. Well, I would have to say not, Tony and Michael. If someone's getting hit with staffs or whatever, they're not doing well now, Paulie Dangerously says. And now Faith is now going to hopefully beat Baron Corbin here today. 1, 2, and only a kick out. Baron Corbin got her. The End of Days. It's over here. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner, Baron Corbin. And Baron Corbin has beat Faith here today on Collision or Hit in the Hershey Reese, well, these are most like Hershey Reese peanut butter cup staffs. They have no names on them because unlike the smaller ones that say, Hershey's on it or Reese's on it, the bigger ones do not have names on it. Michael Cole says. Yeah, you got that. That's right, Tony Schiavone says. Baron Corbin may have won this match here, but I still think that it was wrong for him for, starting all that shit he said about Father Yule, Tony Schiavone says. Yeah, Michael Cole says, I don't know where his stand and mindset is to come out and do all that shit. Michael Cole says, shaming and guilting Father Yule. Alright, Paulie Dangerously says, that would be like someone coming out and guilting and shaming Gathering of Lights Harry. For him going around giving out gifts 8 nights out of a year, coming out and putting little gifts out for the 8 nights of Gathering of Lights and saying that. So I can understand why someone might not be happy about Father Yule being scathed. But then again, in ECW, Father Yule did get up at least 2 times. There was a 911 choke slamming him 1 year. The Blue World Steamers over kicking him 1 year. Yeah. So yeah. Only everybody else kind of outdid it. But I like Baron Corbin's mindset and stand. If you can guilt and shame Father Yule, then hey, you're a good enough man in my eyes, Paulie Dangerously says. Yeah, you would say that, Michael. You would say that, Tony Schiavone said. Yeah, you wouldn't, Michael Cole says. All right, Gene Okerlund, take it away. Thank you, Tony Schiavone and Michael Cole. I'm going to be talking with Baron Corbin here today on Rampage. Talking to Baron Corbin here today on Collision or Hit. All right, Baron Corbin. You've always seemed to be a bully 24/7, 335 days out of the year. I guess Yule time you wouldn't shift your standing mindset. Well, if you say I'm a bully 24/7, 335 days out of the year, why would I not be a bully and creep during the holy days? You know, Yule, gathering of lights, gathering of followership, whatever, Boxing Day, whatever, if it's a true holiday or not. Anyway, I beat Faith. I guilted and shamed at Father Yule. And let's not stop there. If Gathering of Lights Harry was around, I would guilt and shame him too. Well, I don't know if there is a Gathering of Lights Harry or not. I know there is a Father Yule. And Baron Corbin, I don't know why you would want to come out and behave like Glenn Grinch did or Ebenezer Scrooge did. First off, why everybody keeps like to say that I'm like them? I don't hate Yule like they did. I didn't have something go bad in their childhood or their early grown-uphood and made them hate Yule. I just don't like Father Yule. There's a big unlikeness between that. Anyway, I beat up Faith. Faith thought she was so cool, hit me with Reese and Hersey staffs, why don't you? But I just gave her the deep six and the end of days in the deep six. So, yeah. Well, anyway, Baron Corbin, you're not making any friends. And behaving like a bully or a creep or a heel is not good. Well, it's not sinful and unlawful to be a heel, is it? I think not. Yeah, well that's what I thought too. Then I think I'm going to keep on being a heel then. A creep. A bully. Ha ha ha. Well, that's my talk with Baron Corbin. Back to you, Tony Schiavone and Michael Cole. Thank you, Gene Okerlund, for talking with Baron Corbin here today on Collision or Hit. And that's all the time we've got here for Collision or Hit. I, Tony Schiavone, Michael Cole, Paulie Dangerously. We hope you like Collision or Hit, and we'll see you tomorrow.